Hello, everyone. I'm the Fiery Diva, and welcome to the Hot Flash Room. What is Hot Flash Room? 10-minute commentary where I just say what's on my mind. It only lasts a few minutes, and just like a hot flash, it just suddenly goes away. Now, who is the Fiery Diva? Country girl from the South, born and raised in the South, okay? I have a radio and television background. And again, I like to say what's on my mind. Sometimes Diva can get a little political. Sometimes the hot flash room gets a little intense, and I understand if you have to leave. Okay, but those who know me, it's all about the clips, right? And today's commentary is everything has an expiration date.
My name is Danielle Harris, born and raised in Gary, Indiana. After 22 years of marriage, I thought I had heard every strange idea my husband Marcus could come up with. Until one evening, he sat across from me, eyes heavy, voice trembling. "Baby, I love you, but I need you to spend an evening with another man." I froze. "Marcus, what kind of nonsense is that?" He swallowed hard. "Not like that. I'm talking about your father, James Harris. He's been alone since your mom passed, and you barely see him anymore. Go spend time with him before time decides for you." The words hit deeper than I expected. I'd been so caught up juggling work, bills, and raising our twins that I hadn't noticed how long it had been since Dad and I actually sat down together. That same night, with guilt tightening in my chest, I called him. "Daddy, you want to go to lunch with me tomorrow?" There was a pause, long, quiet, aching. "Is something wrong, Danny?" he asked. "No, I miss you." His voice cracked. I'd like that. I'd like that a lot. When I picked him up the next day, he stepped onto the porch wearing the same sharp gray suit he wore to my mother's funeral, pressed, polished, proud. He grinned like a young man again. "Had to look right," he joked. "Told the fellas at church I had a lunch date with my favorite girl. We went to a small soul food spot near downtown. I read him the menu because his eyesight wasn't what it used to be." He smiled softly. "When you were little, I used to do the same for you." "Well," I said, "guess it's my turn now." We talked for hours, music, church stories, old family jokes. Nothing big, but it felt like everything. When I dropped him off, he hugged me tighter than he had in years. "Let's do this again soon." "I promise," I said. But there wasn't a soon. He passed away 3 days later from a silent heart condition.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna fly right on into this because the diva's busy and I have things going on. Okay. All right. I want to give it up for the creator. I actually pulled that. That is from Black Big Bang. That's the creator that I actually pulled that from, and it was very interesting to me because Diva's kind of going through the same thing, and I feel compelled to share this with you all because I want this to help someone. And let me just tell you about my family a little bit. My family, we are a very, very private set of people. We really are, okay? Yes, we are. We don't, it's some things we just do not disclose, okay? And you do not run around telling everything. You don't run around telling the family business, okay? And we raised our children, all of our children, we're all raised the same way, okay? We all came up under that same umbrella. And that kind of started with my dad. You know, whatever goes on in this house stays in this house, okay? And that's just something we just took. And until my father became sick, he became ill, ladies and gentlemen. And yes, if you've ever heard this word, I'm sure you have. I call it the big D word, right? Okay, that is eternal fire. Okay, dealing with the sundown, and some of you may have not heard that because I certainly haven't heard it, but my sister did, and she said, "What's going on? Dad is doing what's called sundowning." Because my sister, she's worked in the medical field more so than me. I've never been in that world. And so when you're oblivious to it, you don't understand, you don't know what's going on. But and then dealing with my mother and her health challenges, and this is something that we were gonna hold. I mean, and my mom, she's like, well, we're not telling anybody, whatever's going on here stays here. And my sister and I, we riding with it, right? We riding with mama. You absolutely right, mama. No, we ain't telling nobody. Don't nobody come around, don't nobody care no way. And some people just coming around being nosy. I mean, we're just all on that. I mean, we was all on that, okay? And I'm not saying it's a good thing, but I'm just keeping it real with you, okay? And I'm sharing this with you because I want someone to learn from this, okay? Because we are imperfect, okay? Just like you that are listening to this today, okay? But I'm moving right along here. Okay, I just want to encourage you guys to spend every waking moment with your loved one. Okay, I mean, this is serious as it can be, ladies and gentlemen. And I didn't realize that, I turn around, I'm laughing, I'm talking with my parents, I'm going over there every single day. There's not a day I don't go by. I've been going by there for years, every single day. And I turn around and here my parents are, you know, I mean, they've aged quite a bit. And I mean, they're not making sound decisions. And I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And here it is upon me. And that was overwhelming. It really was. And it was overwhelming to my siblings as well. My sister and I, we were worried about our mother who was facing her own health challenges, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to share this with you. Check on your family, okay? Please check on your family and your loved ones, okay? And the realest thing that I know that my grandmother shared with my father years ago, my great grandmother, is watch how you treat people because you don't know who you're going to need. And I'm going to take it a little further than that. You don't know who's going to have to take care of your loved ones, okay? You don't know who's going to have to help you with this because you can't do this alone, ladies and gentlemen. You just cannot, okay? And thank God, my dad, he's a veteran, right? And so the VA has come in and helping us out tremendously. And you just don't know. I mean, we were nitpicky over who we wanted there, and we had certain people we didn't want in our house, and blah blah blah. I mean, we were terrible. And I mean, really, I mean, not funny, and I have to laugh, keep from crying, but it's real. And so I was like, okay, but the one that we were shunning and pushing away turned out to be the best person for the job here, okay? And so I just wanted to encourage you guys to learn from Diva, learn from our family, okay? Spend every waking moment. Okay, now let's talk about the spouses and significant other. Let's give it up for the spouse because her husband saw that she wasn't spending enough time with her father. I love that. I love that. Now, of course, I'm divorced, right? But my husband wouldn't have to tell me that, okay? I guess because I'm such a daddy's girl, you wouldn't have to tell me that because I'm going to be there regardless, okay? But I'm glad that he reminded her, hey, go over there and check on your father, okay? And so, and I'm going somewhere with this because, I mean, one of my siblings lives out of town, okay? So he can't be there, quite like my sister and I. But you have to have that spouse, you have to have that significant other that is going to support you, okay? And don't get angry with you because you have to go and just like and prime example, just the other night, okay, I was in ER with my mother until 2 o'clock in the morning. Okay, and why is Diva telling this? I'm telling it because I want you guys to hear me. Hear me, please. Things can go from 0 to 100 because I was just over there and we were just over there laughing and talking. Okay, she calls me. She calls me. Now my sister's in the other room, but she didn't even want to yell. She was too weak to even yell. All she could do was call me. And she says, "You need to call somebody. I need to go to the hospital." And I said, "Okay, Mama, I'm on my way." And so that's what I'm saying. Every waking moment, please spend time with your family. And I know I'm about done with this 10 minutes. I know I'm going over. But I just wanted to emphasize on that. Anything can go on just within a blink. And I remember my Uncle, may he rest in peace, he used to say something that was just profound. They'll say, here today, gone today. He said, no, here today, gone today. And that's how things can happen. So I'm just encouraging you guys to spend time with your loved ones and, not just family, friends, elders in your community. community, and their children may not be local. Okay, so you check on them. I know that my cousin came in town. He brought my auntie to see my father, and she and my father suffer from the same thing, just like their mother did. And he and we had the best conversation. I encourage you to talk to other people. Talk. Because, like I said, Diva's just always been a private person, and some things we just don't discuss. Okay? And because, I've been burnt, I have been, some private, intimate details I may have shared with somebody. People get mad at you when they tell everything. Okay, well, this is something you don't have to go out and tell because I'm telling it myself. Okay? Um, but yes, talk about it. And I'm just so surprised that, classmates, former co-workers that I've worked with back in the day, they're dealing with the same thing, and it just helps to talk. Just like with my cousin, we had the nicest conversation, just sharing with one another, and that gives you strength to see someone else going through it. It's kind of like a support group. I know my sister, she's with support groups online. They help as well. So just share and talk with other people because you don't know what other people are going through, and that is what's going to get you the strength that you need to get through all of this. Okay, and last but not least, you've got to take care of you. Don't stop living. Don't stop living. Still have fun, laugh, talk. And when you laugh and talk, you don't have to talk about this. Okay? You don't have to talk about this. Talk about other things, funny, silly, little quirky things like I do with my bestie. We're just on the phone and we're just texting one another, all kinds of silly stuff, and just take some time out with you. You may want to go and just get you something to eat just by yourself. Just some me time, just spending time with you and enjoying things in your hobbies and just everything that you like to do. And don't stop if you're like an event planner or whatever you were doing before. Continue to do it because that's who you are. Okay? Yes, your family member, your life, the family dynamics is broken right now. But that is not your life. That is not all of who you are. Okay? So I just wanted to let you know, guys, that everything has an expiration date, including you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Fiery Diva, and this is the Hot Flash Room. And there's nothing hotter than a hot flash.